Okay, so now we're just going to move on to the second code snippet, which is completely in Python. So right here we have a function that we're defining, which is greet. So first, really quickly, I'm just going to go over the app.route part. You'll go more in depth on this later, but I'll just briefly go over it. So app.route is basically just used to map a certain URL to a function that you're defining yourself. So in this case, we're mapping the greet URL to the greet function that we have defined here. So we also have the methods get and post, which Sarika discussed earlier. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about the control flow logic. So if statements are a large part of control flow logic, and they're also referred to as conditionals because they allow you to give conditions or requirements to be met before an action is performed. So for example, here we have our first if statement, if request.form. So this is basically just checking if the user has actually clicked this greeting submit button, if they've submitted anything. So if they've submitted something, then we're going to store whatever they submitted, their inputted data, in the name variable. And then we have another if statement. So if this is true, then we're going to go on to the next if statement, which is why it's nested. So the next if statement is checking if the user even inputted anything. So if it's not an empty string, so if they actually inputted some value, then we're going to change the web page and return our greet.html template, which has right here hello name. So that's why our hello world last time changed to hello hello, because now we're returning this template, which has our name variable right here. And right here, we just stored that name variable. We just took the input from our user and stored it in that name variable. So that's why we see a difference in our web page.